Hello everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge and welcome to another recommendations video. And today we're doing a requested video for he's too big recommendations, or is he going to fit, or maidenly horror at the size of his dick, whatever you want to call it. And me and Mr. Squishy Peen here are going to give you some recommendations. Yes, in one of the book boxes I finally got one of these adorable Squishy Peens. And it's kind of amazing. It just gets cuter the more I look at it, you know, unlike real penises. Peni? Cocks? Whatever we want to say. So, yeah, this is one that I'm a dirty hoe for it. Sometimes I think this is too much of a cliche, and sometimes they just have a really big cock, okay? Sometimes it's just huge, all right? And, you know, some people are a little bit scared, you know, a little bit nervous about that. And some of us are horny girls like me, and we just live for that shit, okay? Sometimes we just do. And y'all are here on the Book Refuge, so you might feel the same way. So anyway, let's go ahead. I think I have like 11 or 12 recommendations for this. As I do with my recommendation videos, I'm not going to be going too deep into these books. I'll do to the best of my ability, because sometimes I talk too long. I'll do a very brief overview of some of these. But otherwise, I'm mostly just going to say the dude's got a big dick. Go check out the book if you want, right? So yeah, let's dive in. One of the most common places that you can legitimately find a being with the cock that's too big is going to be in paranormal or fantasy situations, because the authors can just go crazy and they can make that dick as big as they want. And one of the authors who's been doing that quite a lot lately in her books is Katee Robert, okay? I don't think I have my art with the big dick. I don't know where it went. But The Dragon's Bride, he actually has 2 cocks, and they're both too big for her. But sometimes she takes both. Anyway, so this is the first book in her Deal with the Demon series, and it's a series where she gave these clinch covers to these monsters. Oh, you don't want that to slip out. No, no, no. That'd be naughty. Don't slip out there. Nope. Pardon me. And what happens is these women get offered this deal for anything that they want. So maybe they're in an abusive relationship and they want to get away. Maybe they want, like in this one, that is what it is. Briar Rose is in a marriage to a dangerous man, and so she gets offered a escape by making a deal. And so she'll make this deal, and then when they sign it, they get immediately taken away from wherever they are, and they get brought to be basically like auctioned off. Because it's Katee Robert, it's a very safe auction, and there's all these protections in place for the women, but they will have to spend 7 years in this demon realm serving a demon. And in this case, it is a dragon demon. And she will spend time with him, and then once she has served her time, she will get to go back to her time, and it will be the exact moment she left, and they'll get whatever they asked for. So that's what this whole series will be about. And in this case, Briar Rose is going to serve her time with the demon man with 2 dicks, and they're big. If you've seen any of the fan art of this, which I wish I had that one, but also no, because I can't show it on YouTube anyway, it's a big dick, okay? Like, it's a big one. Another author who writes literally every one of her heroes has a big dick, but specifically this one. In this one, he's also a virgin with a big dick, which is always particularly fun for me. I won't lie, it is. And that is Bite Marks by Jennika Snow. And this one is Adrian, and dude, he's got a big dick. And this one definitely has the scenes where he's like, it's not gonna fit, I'm gonna break her with it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And I just love it. Like, seriously, this whole series is like, I mean, I would say he's the most toxic of the heroes in this series, because he's the vampire in the series. This is the Lycan series, and he's the first vampire in it, and he's very much like, I am gonna fuck that pussy raw type of guy, so just be prepared for it. Jennika's note does a good job sharing all of her trigger warnings for these, but he is a naughty boy, okay? He's a naughty boy. And this was, it was hot, okay? It was hot. But anyway, big dick vampire. I have another big dick vampire to share, and he's my favorite, and that is Lothaire. And I will tell you now that we have a virgin heroine in this one, Ellie. And she basically, the scenario of this book is she's been inhabited by a demon queen, okay? And Lothaire believes that that evil queen is his mate. Like, he doesn't believe that it is Ellie, who's just this weak human girl. And so he is, because of reasons, keeping Ellie captive until he's able to remove Ellie's soul from her body and let Soroya completely take it over. Now, Soroya, she doesn't actually want to have sex with Lothaire. So she tells Lothaire he can do whatever he wants to Ellie's body. Ellie, of course, is horrified about that, but she also knows that one of the only ways she's going to get Lothaire to save her and not Soroya is if she convinces him, possibly using her body, that he wants her. And that includes a very hot scene of him taking her virginity and it hurting. And he's not very patient. And she's trying to get him to slow down, and he's like, no, I'm taking you right now. So nobody said Lothaire was the best of them, okay? He's a toxic boy, but I eat it up with 2 spoons, okay? I love it. I love this awful man. And he gets good comeuppance, okay? He gets good comeuppance. It's true. Let's see. Do I have another paranormal one in here? I'm just checking my list quick. No, I don't. Okay. All right, then we have a couple historicals to share. The first one I want to share is Passion by Elisa Valdez. Now, to be 100% honest, I haven't fully completed this book, but you only really need to read the first chapter. I mean, you should read the whole book, but like, you only need to read the first chapter to know that the hero has a big dick, because the heroine, Passion, and the hero, they are at the World's Fair, and they sneak behind a curtain and have sex. And the hero literally has a cock so big that prostitutes are afraid to fuck him. Okay, it's that kind of, it's big. Okay, we're gonna have another hero who's like that too, by the way. Like, it's so big, all right? But just at this fair, the heroine is able to take it behind a curtain with people all around. And they never even say each other's names. They just end up having this clandestine fuck fest at the World's Fair. It's not really the World's Fair. I'm sorry, I'm calling it that, but that's what's in my head. And the hero immediately is like, that's the woman for me. It's the only woman who can take me all the way. So yeah. When we're talking about big dicks, we got to talk about this book. Like, we just got to. Although on the list, it did have Patience on this list as well, because there's like Passion and Patience are the 2 books in here. So there you go. Then I also have to share The Temptation of a Highlander. This one, I wouldn't say it's like as dramatic as some of the other ones that I've been sharing so far, but there is a very hot scene in this when they're doing it. And the hero is saying things like, take it all right now. And the heroine's like, I'm trying. If you haven't been reading Elisa Braden, number 1, I don't know what you've been doing. And number 2, she writes some of the greatest spicy stuff in historicals that I've read while still writing an amazing story. And the Midnight in Scotland series is fantastic. But Campbell McPherson, and actually Broderick as well. But he's a Georgia boy. They have some big dicks in their under their kilts, okay? And it's hot, all right? It's hot. And then the other historical I want to mention, like I said, that also has a hero with a dick so big that he's still a virgin, I believe, because prostitutes are even afraid to take him. I think maybe this one's not a virgin. There's another one we're going to do as well who is a virgin, but maybe this one isn't. I can't remember. But this one is one of the books in the series by Celeste Bradley that's a spy. So this one is Surrender to a Wicked Spy. And I actually read this book a long time ago. And I really liked this one at the time too because it has toys in it. Because they actually do like, so that the heroine, so they end up having like an arranged marriage in this, and he's planning for it to just be a marriage in name only because nobody's able to take his cock. Like no one's able to take him without them being in a lot of pain. But the heroine is like, I am his wife, and it is my wifely duty to be able to take my man's dick. So I'm going to figure it out. So she actually consorts with a prostitute or sex worker who has a set of dildos, and the heroine and the hero play together night after night and work her up in size until she's able to take him. And I just really like that that was in historical. Okay, this book has problems. If you look at the reviews for this, people are like, this is so unrealistic and blah 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 blah. It was hot, okay, and it was a historical with sex toys. All right, it was cool. It was cool. Celeste Bradley writes very sexy romance as it is. So I had a good time with this big dicked man, okay? I liked this one. All right, then we of course got to share Alex and Violet, okay? And now this is a series that this man's cock gets called some very interesting things, and her vagina gets called some very interesting things. But if we want to talk about a man who carries a big stick, we got to talk about Alex Waters. And Alex Waters is Violet's stepbrother's teammate. And when the whole family is staying at a hotel for an away event, she ends up hooking up with Alex, and he has a really big dick, and she is really horny for it, okay? And that begins our this series off, okay? So it's a little ridiculous. This one's really funny, but like Violet says some of the craziest things, and Alex, he's a wee bit of a stalker because they have such a great one night stand, and she doesn't mean for there to be any more to come of it, okay? Because of her stepbrother. She's like, I don't want this to be weird or anything, but he becomes a little obsessed with her, so things get a little bit crazy, okay? They do. It happens. But I liked it, okay? I love this series. It makes me happy. Then we have a gay romance that I wanted to share, actually, and that is Hothead by Damon Suede. This is a firefighter best friends romance, and they're actually firefighters in New York not long after 9/11, I think, is when it's set up. And yeah, they're friends and roommates, and the one man is very much falling for his friend, and he doesn't realize his friend is falling for him too. And then his friend needs to make some extra money, and so he asks his friend to come do a porno with him where they're just jacking off in the same room beside each other. And it leads to them finally experimenting, and one of them has a very big cock. This book is a bit ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, it is, but I really like it a lot. It's been a while since I've read this one, but it was pretty hot. And I really loved their friendship, and one of the heroes was very shy, and I like how they worked out together. Then I want to mention Bait by Jade West. I believe this hero's big dick is pierced as well. This is a consensual non-consent. This is a rape fantasy book where the heroine meets the hero in an online group, and she's looking for someone who, like, they can do a rape fantasy, and the hero is like, you're gonna get hurt if you're just asking someone to rape you. And she's like, oh, but will you do it? This was one of my first rape fantasies that I ever read, and I actually really like the way that Jade West does this story. It was very, like, moving to me. And when I was starting in my journey of reading CNC, this was quite a ride, and I really loved how it was done. So also, if you like Primal Play, I didn't know really what Primal Play was at the time, but this definitely too does have the, like, you know, like running from the person coming for you too. So there's that. And then the last one I want to mention, this one's actually kind of fun. I read this one quite a while ago. I actually used to own a copy of this one, but I gave it away a while ago. And that is Captivated. And this is by Eve Dangerfield and Tessa Bailey. And it's actually about a heroine from Australia who's a comedian. And our hero, who is the maintenance guy and like landlord in this like apartment building she works or lives in. And when he comes in to like get, I can't remember if he's getting the rent check or something, she also draws these like little doodles, and she gives him, like, I can't remember how, but like she gives him this thing with a doodle, and the like comic on the back is of someone who suspiciously looks like him, who is like rape fantasying a girl. And he asks her if that's something she's really into. And so they begin this relationship where he will consensually like set up times for him to like attack her and go at her, and like punishments for her. And he also helps her like build her confidence in her art and her performance, you know, as a comedian and as like her little comics and everything. And it's really cute. But yeah, he's got a big Johnson downstairs. So check that out. This one really is funny. It is a very like, it doesn't come up super often because it's by both of these authors and it's a bit older, but I really loved this book. And this was another one I was exploring when I was looking into like CNC stuff. But this one's probably the most lighthearted, besides maybe like Hothead. This one's probably the most lighthearted of all the books that I've recommended. And then the last one, and this is the one with the hero who's a virgin because his dick is too big. But this one is like, this one has a lot of mixed reviews, and this one is very intense. I would almost consider this like a dark romance. But this is called Never Sweeter by Charlotte Stein. And the hero was actually a bully of the heroine. And the reason why this one like gets mixed things is that they're now going to the same college, and she was literally bullied out of the school that she went to in high school by the hero and his friends. More his friends than him, but he did go along with it. And she actually ended up in an accident because of their bullying. I won't go into all those details. But anyway, so now she's going to college, and he's also going to that college. And he wants to make amends, but she's like, I want nothing to do with you. They end up getting put in a project together, and she's like, no, I don't want to. And he's like, please don't tell the teacher. Like, we can work together. We can do it. And she's like, no, how can we? And he's like, I want to make amends. And through the story, like, we find out that part of the reason he was making fun of her is because he liked her. So that's tough. Part of the reason she's bullied too is because this is a plus size heroine. She's very body self-conscious, so there's that. But we find out when they start fooling around later on that he's a virgin because his cock is so big. He's done everything but the innie part of it, but she actually becomes his willing first one. Anyway. And I actually really liked this though, because I did like how the bully redemption was written in this one. And this one wasn't a bully romance. Like, we don't have to watch a lot of the stuff that happened to her, but we know it was serious because she was traumatized and like needed therapy from it. But I don't know, I liked this definitely more than some of the dark bully romances I've read, because this one felt really real. It did. As someone who was fat in high school and had nicknames called to me and people mistreated me, I am actually friends with some people who were mean to me in high school. Like, one of them is a dear friend now. So this wasn't impossible to me. Granted, that person is a bully. I didn't end up like leaving the school or running away. I realized that that person was insecure and was kind of childish. And when I met them a few years later, when we were in high school, they'd lived through, or when we were in college, they'd lived through a little more of life, and they weren't such a douche anymore. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel like happens in this book. And I thought the sex scenes with it were really hot, with her working up to like taking him and stuff. Like, oh, I just love it. I'm just toxic for this. Okay, I love it so much. So anyway, Mr. Peen and I thank you for watching our video. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Boop. And we'll see you next time, okay? Have a great day.